Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists and your K-romance guides. So grab some dekboki and listen to your new favorite unnies.
Hey everybody, it's Leah Riley.
Hello, it's Megan.
Hi there, it's Amy.
How is everyone? We're all
Hot.
together.
I'm hot.
Yeah, I know
Very
you
hot.
are.
It's 87 degrees outside right now at 20 to 8 at night in the Chicago suburbs. And I just don't think any perimenopausal woman should have to deal with that. Ever.
So it's hot here too, but I promised Hazel that I would, my daughter, who is 12, that I would take her to Hot Pot tonight because there is a Hot Pot place. It's like, I think it's kind of like a chain. It's called K-Pot. I'm not sure if it's like around anywhere else in the country. I'm in Pennsylvania. But there's a few locations, and I had promised her that I would go to Hot Pot because she really wanted to go. And we have never been to Hot Pot. I live in the land of chain restaurants. Like, that is all that's around me. Like, you can find a Texas Roadhouse and a Longhorn Steakhouse and a Chipotle, like, no problem. But like trying to find anything that's like out of the realm of like me eat beef is like really hard. So, but this is like a little bit farther away from us where her field hockey clinic was. So we stopped. And I've never been to Hot Pot. This was a new experience. I love new experiences. I'm like, we're going to sit down and we're going to try this. And so first of all, you pick your soup base at this place called K-Pot. And so Hazel got one that was definitely like it tasted like a ramen base for sure. And then I tried something different. I think it was called Thai Tom Yum, and it said sweet and sour with like a little bit of spice. And I really liked the flavor, but it was like it was a little too much spice for me to have like a full meal. Cause you remember, I'm like Pennsylvania Dutch stock. Like, we have salt and pepper, and that's the only spice that like I was raised on. Okay. So like I'm trying to educate my taste buds, people, but like, it takes some baby steps. Anyway, so I remember when they used the induction stove, right? So it's like, it's not hot to the touch, but you put the like metal pot on it and then it's going to get hot. And I remember saying to him, okay, so when the soup comes out, you just put it on and it's just hot, right? And he's like, yeah. I didn't say it like that. The way I worded it was probably something, I was like, oh, you just put it on the plate and it works, right? And he said, yeah, thinking that I'm not a dumbass, but like I am a dumbass and you have to spell instructions out for me. Okay. So we get the pot. Hazel has hers. I have mine. And we're putting our stuff in it. Okay. So we ordered two different meats. We ordered pork belly and then like a type of, I think it was like a ribeye, like sliced ribeye. And we're putting it in the hot pot. And also I think I ordered like rice cakes or like tteokbokki, like rice cakes. And most of the stuff they give you is like cold because you're supposed to put it in the hot thing. And so Hazel and I are like putting the meat in the thing, and it's like not getting like real cooked. But I'm like, this is the experience, right? Like, I think you're supposed to, maybe it doesn't get like real cooked, right?
We just eat the meat how it is.
I don't know where this is going. I am confused already.
I am too.
So Hazel's like, is this cooked enough? And I'm like, yeah, totally. Like, as the adult. And
Did you not turn the soup on?
so in this situation, I was like, totally. Like, I was like, Hazel, it doesn't get like real cooked, okay? And I was like,
You're a grown up.
And Hazel's like, okay. And then so like
She's gnawing on raw pork belly.
so she puts it in, and she's like, I don't think this pork belly's cooked enough. I was like, Hazel, it's fine.
She's like, Mom, isn't it called hot pot?
And then also I'm distracted because my soup is so spicy. And somehow I get tom yum sauce in one eye, and my contact is I have to take my contact out. My whole eye is burning. Like, I'm relatively okay with the spice, but at this point I'm crying because I'm distracted. That's my only because I'm crying, so I have to take one contact out. So then I'm sitting there with like one contact in my eye, which sucks because I'm blind. And Hazel's like, I really think this is not right.
Like, Mom, this is cold.
It wasn't cold.
Everybody else's plates at all the other tables are like bubbling.
Right. We're looking over at everyone else and we're like, that guy's is steaming. and I can hear it bubbling from here. So like, what is wrong with ours?
And again, it's called hot.
It was warm. And so I was like,
It was warm when it got there, right?
it was warm when we got there, and then it started to cool off.
So it went from like lukewarm to
it went
room
from
temperature.
It was actually pretty hot when they brought it out, but it's cooling off quick. It's a big pot, and so that's finally when I was like, Hazel, I think I need to. And I had been pressing the buttons, and it would like flash, and that so I didn't. But then I realized you have to press the button like more than once. Like you got to press it, and then all of a sudden, it like you could hear it literally turn on under the fucking table. And I was like, oh my God, the pot wasn't on Hazel. And then she's like, I'm going to get salmonella. I'm like, you're not going to get salmonella. So then she's Googling salmonella.
She might.
She's Googling salmonella.
You gave her sashimi pork.
Okay, I
know.
2
words that should never be together.
But it was like, and then also I ordered a different soup base so I could finally handle the spice because, again, I'm a child. And then things started going swimmingly. Okay, it was going great then.
Are you still wearing one contact at this point?
I'm still wearing, I had to drive home with one contact. So
like a pirate.
Like a pirate. So then I kept saying, like, are you having a good time? And she's like, well, I ate raw meat. I was like, forget about the raw meat. I was like,
please tell me that's the first thing that she told Neil when you guys walked in the house.
She actually did it, and I was really proud, but she was like, you need to tell Amy and Leah. You need to tell Amy and Leah what you did. And I was like, okay. She kept saying the whole way home, she's like, I think my stomach hurts. And I was like, it's in your head. I was like so mad. I was like, I totally I was gaslighting her the entire way home.
Totally did.
I was like, you're fine. I still am like it was not, and just FYI, it was not K-Pot's fault. Like, this is 100%.
Not at no point did I think this was K-Pot's
any
fault.
part was I thinking of coming for this business.
The whole time, I was like, Megan is making her daughter eat raw meat to save face.
It's fine. It's fine. I've eaten so much raw meat. I like raw meat, but I mean, I'm not sure I would eat like raw pork belly. No, but you know, if you had beef, sure, why not?
Yeah, we had beef and we had pork belly. The pork belly was because I had a little bit of the pork belly when I didn't cook it properly, and it was awful. It was really bad. I just spit it out in a napkin.
But she like soldiered on and ate it.
I think hers might have been hotter initially, so she like at least got something. But she did soldier on. So anyway, all that to say, you know, I guess experiment. You might eat raw meat along the way, but you'll get the hang of it. You get the hang of it.
I had my first hot pot experience this weekend.
Sure, it went much better than mine.
I'm not gonna get into the weeds with it.
Okay.
But I went out with one of our Patreon members, Becky. Our hot pots bubbled, and we cooked our meat.
Good. I'm really glad.
And no salmonella to be had.
Adequate spice. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't need to validate myself in life at your expense.
I mean, it's okay. I said to you guys, I have to tell you about my hot pot story.
Yeah. So I think we should leave it there.
It's just, this is pretty classic how, like, when I was younger, I would always be hesitant to try new things because of this. Because this always happens to me. Because you really got to spell shit out for me. You really do.
And what I want to give you kudos for is good for you for trying something new.
I did. All by myself with Hazel. And we figured, and let me say, we actually did not ask. We actually were like, we're going to figure this out on our own. We are going to do this.
But it's okay to ask.
I want to normalize greatly asking.
Yes. Before you eat all of the pork belly uncooked. Like,
we're going to definitely let the listeners know that as we give this uplifting life lesson of trying new things, being open to experiences, laughing at mistakes and not letting them disrupt us, we're also going to say, just ask.
I mean,
I should have.
What I take away from this is that when I have my first hot pot experience with my kids without anybody else to tell me what to do, the first thing I'm going to do is ask my server, how do I turn on the hot pot?
How do you turn that? I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I can figure this out. And clearly I couldn't until like halfway through the meal. But we had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. Hazel, once we got the hang of it, it was like delicious. The rice cakes in it, the noodles, and the pork belly. I finally like cooked a piece.
The non-tepid pork
I
belly.
finally cooked a piece and I was like, Hazel, this pork belly's really good. She's like, yeah, when it's cooked. She was like so mad at me. But yeah, we had a good time. I will try it again. I will try it. This place does do Korean barbecue too. But Hazel and I both wanted to try something new because we've done Korean barbecue. We wanted to try hot pot. So we'll do it again. We'll do it again now that we know how to turn it
Now,
on.
next time you show up slinging meat, being like, who wants to have it? Oh, got to turn it on like this is what you do. You just, that point, that's when you can say that, your kinesthetic learning has come into play. You've learned by doing, and now you can razzle dazzle your friends and family.
No one's going to come with me. Maybe Neil and Dane, maybe my husband and my son. But yeah, you're right. Maybe I will. It was a really fun place. Like I could have stayed there for longer. I could have eaten more if I could once I cooked it. So shout out to Hot Pot and my server, Chris.
Well, I want to talk about something that's not a fun place.
Oh, God. Okay.
And that's a guild.
A guild?
If I could have no more guilds in my life, it would be too soon.
What's worse? Land deals? Wait, hold on. Land deals, guilds, or slush funds?
Slush funds are the worst, I think.
I think slush funds are the worst.
Guilds.
Guilds
There's
are pretty
nothing
terrible.
to me now worse than a guild. I will watch a show just called Land Deals and Slush Funds.
Land deals, slush funds, and no guilds. It's the next drama.
Okay, so speaking of guilds, we are talking today about Dear Hongrang, which is a 2025 historical mystery thriller, which, by the way, I gave...
caper.
A lighthearted caper, right. I don't know. I call it a historical mystery thriller with a love story. I don't know.
It's a romp through Guildland.
Stop. Okay, so it's 11 episodes, and it's available on Netflix in the U.S. Jo Boa, you know her from Tale the Nine-Tailed, is the spinster-like older sister who won't stop the search for her long-lost stepbrother, Hongrang. And E.J. Wook is the mysterious sword-wielding stranger who claims to be him. There's a psychopath villain, a lot of guild talk that none of us really understood or liked, and let us repeat, E.J. Wook with a sword. And a gat. And
oh yeah,
I loved it. So I thought this was interesting. E.J. Wook is on record as initially declining the role because he had just finished filming Alchemy of Souls. And frankly, he didn't want to wear a hanbok again, which is honestly
fair.
Which is honestly a really fair statement. So I will also note that the hanboks in Dear Hongrang to me also look noticeably thicker. So I think this takes place in a more northern part of Joseon, because there's a lot of like winter hats. And the
entire character called the Snowman.
Well, yes, that too. But you could just also tell by the hanboks they were wearing; they're almost like quilted. So, from an article on 10 Asia, this is the quote. Having previously worked on historical dramas like Alchemy of Souls, seasons 1 and 2, E.J. Wook initially declined the role. In several interviews conducted right after filming Alchemy of Souls, Lee expressed, "I filmed for a long time with a very long breath. I don't want to wear a hanbok for a while," which I loved. I'm sure, obviously that translation, I think he probably means it was heavy, I was out of breath. That's what I'm thinking is what he means by that. So why did E.J. Wook eventually decide to join Dear Hongrang? He explained, "The writer of Dear Hongrang wrote me a 5 to 6 page handwritten letter. It detailed my journey from my debut. The writer had matched the various charms of the character Hongrang with the characters I've played so far. I read the letter while overseas and cried a lot. It was amazing to know that there was a writer who saw in me such detail and positively. How could I refuse when someone wanted me so much?"
Well, if that's all it takes,
Yeah,
I can
write 10 pages. I can
write you a million letters every day.
I can make you cry about how much I want you.
Yeah, EJ Wook in this role was something else, truly. Whether you like the drama or not, I could not get over him in this role. To me, it's his favorite role. It's even better than Jung Uk. It's got to be my favorite role. If you watched Alchemy of Souls, we kind of talked about this. It's basically like season 2 Jung Uk, like on steroids. Like
it
him,
was like Tony Montana, like a whole pile of like Inks cocaine.
And it never got better.
he was
The
just
angst never went away.
Which is hot.
It is hot, for sure.
Mhm.
On him.
Why did you watch Dear Hongrang, and what were your expectations?
I watched it for the incest.
That's what I thought.
By which I mean, so one of my absolute favorite tropes is forbidden love, and it's a hard trope to get. Like, this is a hard trope to do well. It's a hard trope to just give a premise to. That's why, like, priests, like Fleabag is probably one of my favorite Western shows. So I like kind of like impossible circumstances of how's it going to work out. That's not to say that I'm like, so yes, incest. However, what I like to fashion for this drama as like, or for K dramas as like incest light. So I'm a fan of like step siblings, siblings not by blood but by circumstances. Those kind of things are just not going to be a no for me. So in this case, we're getting the premise of a long lost brother coming home and dot dot dot. So once I heard that a few times, so I heard that a number of times, then I heard dark and angsty and a romance, which we're
I
going to get
told
to later.
you, I told you that there was crying cave sex.
Oh yeah, okay. Crying cave sex definitely sealed the deal. And you also told me it was a romance. And we're gonna get
Okay.
to this.
Yeah. All right. I
said
fucked up.
you said it
I
was a
fucked up.
romance even after you finished it.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I don't think I'd finished it at the time. I think let me defend myself slightly. I agree I fucked up, but I think I said I didn't realize they were focusing on the romance so much. This is really romancing. Okay, well, we'll get to
just no, the romance in here is everything. It's romancing, romance, and fair. Fair. If you're watching the show and you're just like caught up in the romance. Fair.
I was. And I know that's when I sold it to you hard, and then I was like, oh.
But we never like amended anything. And so
correct.
I'm going to amend it now for listeners without heavy spoilers to say that I would not define this as I'm not even going to say I would not say, it's just not. It's not a romance. So if you go into it with the expectation it's a romance, no, that is not what you're getting.
It's correct. It's a love story.
There is love. There is romance. It is not a romance by definition. And we will go deeper into that.
We'll get there. I mean, I initially was all set to watch it because of EJ Uk, because Alchemy of Souls is in my top 3. Like, Jung Uk is one of my favorite heroes and still remains. But I didn't start it right away. And then I started getting messages on our socials like, Amy, no, Amy, this isn't for you, because of how violent it is. And that is a fair assessment. Like, I do want to put it out there. This is a very violent drama. I will say that it's violence light when you start, but it does start with violence. Like, there is violence, I would say, the whole way through every episode. And it gets very intense towards the end.
Right.
And I was warned. And because Megan binged the drama and said it was so good, I was like, you know what? It's my boy. It's EJ Uk. Like, I'm all in. I'm going to do this. And I did. And I'm not going to say that I'm better for it. I am one of the people who will say that this is a very good drama. Not necessarily a joy to experience. That makes sense.
Fair. Yeah, so I watched this because our listeners were like constantly talking about it. Like, again, I do try to tune in. I want to know if like a bunch of our listeners, our Patreon members are watching something, it often will get me to watch something. I've said that before because I have major FOMO. And but I thought I watched the trailer. And I really thought going in I was going to get just like full like sword fighting it was going to be extremely plot heavy. I thought there was going to be like more guild talk than there was. Like my expectations were actually we weren't getting
more guild talk.
I thought there was going to be. I thought it was going to be very plot kind of like intrigue.
Men in hats. You thought it was going to be a lot of men in hats.
I thought it was going to be a lot of men in hats, but I thought I was going to get EJ Wook with a sword. So I was like, okay, I want to see EJ Wook with a sword. Like that was honestly why I watched it. I thought I was going to get an action drama. That's what I thought I was getting.
You thought
based on,
and that's what you got.
It is what I got, but I got way, way, way more relationship stuff than I thought we were getting. Like way more.
Because I was like, was I watching a movie where there wasn't a lot of guild and men in hats and EJ Wook with a sword? Because I feel like that was the whole drama for me.
Correct. But I would and we did, but for me, I thought there was going to be little to no relationship stuff. And so the fact that we got as much as we did, I was like so stoked. Like that was I'm just gonna say I love Dear Hongrang, absolutely loved it. Is it perfect? Oh yeah. Is it perfect? No. Absolutely loved it. It's probably one of my top dramas.
Absolutely loved it. I am shook it.
Yeah, I really loved it. A lot. A lot.
Did you absolutely love it, Amy?
No.
No.
I know she didn't.
Not at all. It was I'm still stressed out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, my expectations were different than what I got, but I liked what I got better than what my expectations were. I always say that though, when we talk about K-drama sometimes, like the expectations sometimes really fuck me up. Like if I expect one thing and I get something completely different, in a negative way, what? Why are you raising your hand?
That's Leah's experience
in this drama.
Oh, okay. See, I thought there was more relationship stuff than I was expecting. For me, it was all heavy relationship stuff. So heavy on the relationship.
I know what Leah's saying. Leah's saying she went in thinking she was getting a romance.
Oh, I understand. Okay, yes. I know, I fucked up. I
don't mean to mansplain you, but like I'm like, Megan's trying to defend the relationship. Yes, there was relationship stuff, but it was not a romance.
Well, I'm not trying to defend that. Yeah. Okay, so what about comps for Dear Hongrang?
So the first thing that I said was the trunk. Not a Joseon, like not a period piece, but in the sort of bleakness. And I don't say bleakness in a bad way, because I ended up really loving that about The Trunk. Like The Trunk is a drama that, if you haven't listened to our podcast on The Trunk, Megan and I watched it, and it took us doing a podcast episode on it to realize how much we liked the drama, like more than we thought we did. And it was a really great conversation. And The Trunk is one of those that is bleak. You don't really know what's going on. I think they wanted it to be more tense than it was. I mean, there was some tension as far as like murder situation and, what's in this trunk and whatever, but it wasn't like I was exhausted after every episode of Hongrang. Like I was not exhausted watching The Trunk. But I think it has that sort of like, there's no like fun and games. It's dark. There is a romance to it, I will say. And I will say,
fun and game. There is too fun and games in Dear Hongrang. There's a whole episode of it.
No, I'm okay, but I'm saying in The Trunk there's not.
Oh, in The Trunk, no.
In The Trunk there's not. No. So when we talk about the sort of bleakness, like in The Trunk, but in The Trunk there's hope for fun and games to come at the end. In Hongrang,
no,
there's no more hope.
No more hope.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like it's two people brought together, with dark pasts, who have to sort of unravel their dark presence, and come to terms with who they both are before they can be together.
Yeah, I like that you gave a contemporary comp, because I wouldn't have really thought. I mean, I'm going to go with easy ones, which is like My Dearest and Alchemy of Souls. I truly think those, if you like Dear Hongrang, you're going to get probably more of what you liked out of Dear Hongrang in Alchemy of Souls and My Dearest, which is not as much guild talk.
There's zero guild talk in Alchemy of Souls.
I'm going to go with When the Phone Rings as my comp.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I would say, for me, adjacent vibes, a very strong carrying the drama, and a premise that to me started really strong and let me down hard. So, and I liked the heroines in both and feel like they were both done dirty by the plot.
Yeah, I actually do. I agree. I
Feel
agree,
like you gave
actually.
me like the promise of strong women and like undercut them along
Mhm.
the way. And I'm going to go on the record now before we go any deeper in that anyone who wants to come at Joe Boa can come through me first. I am not here for Joe Boa hate. I like
I
Joe
love her.
Boa.
I love her.
And I think I didn't realize there was like so much like meh on her. Not from me.
No, I loved her. I do think the script let her down for sure. But I completely agree. I thought Joe Boa did great with what she had and what the story was giving her.
I like that comp with One of One Rings because I love Chase Subin, and she was definitely done dirty by that writing by the end.
I mean, I'll say I love Dear Hongrang a hell of a lot more than I liked When the Phone Rings. I would actually watch Dear Hongrang again. I would never watch When the Phone Rings ever again.
All right. Well, that's it for no spoilers.
Sorry. It's
So
11 episodes.
before we move into spoilers, do you have a K-pop rec of the week?
We haven't done one of these in a while. And I'm going to do one because I just came back from NAT's concert. And so I'm still riding the concert high. Like, still, it's never lasted this long. It's got a long tail. So I'm going to recommend their song that was kind of um, their US single, which is In Your Fantasy. It's all in English, which is rare for ATs. They normally don't do that. And I'll also say if you liked Your Idol by Saja Boys for K-pop Demon Hunters, In Your Fantasy is extremely Saja Boys coded. It's crazy how much it's like Your Idol. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like let me suck you in. I'm gonna make you lose your sanity. I'm going to like own you. Just all very similar type vibes. So yeah, I would check it out. It's AT's In Your Fantasy. Okay, so we're gonna get into spoilers now for Dear Hongrang because again, it's 11 episodes and we all are itching to talk about. Well, I'm itching to talk.
I mean, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, let's be clear. I'm the one who watched this, and I'm the one who was. But I will tell you right now. I thought Leah was gonna love it more than she did, but it's my fault that she
No,
didn't.
it's not your fault.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna unpack. I think there's a couple
Okay.
of reasons why, but let's just get into the premise a little more.
Okay. So when Jae Yi and Hong Rong were kids, so Jae Yi is played by Jo Boa and Hong Rong is Lee Jae Wook. So when they were kids, he mysteriously disappeared and she's never forgotten about him. And I'm not sure what age he disappeared. They don't tell us. He could be anywhere from 6 to 10, maybe 12, pushing it. I don't know. It's before puberty, I think. But yeah, she's never forgotten him. And she's from a fairly wealthy family, as her father is a successful merchant, or they call it like a guild owner. Okay, this is all the guild talk, 'cause that's what her father does. And because he's successful and wealthy, many men have claimed to be the long lost Hong Rong over the years in order to like gain riches. So she's kind of used to these like men coming in and out of her house being like, I'm Hong Rong. No, I'm Hong Rong. I'm Spartacus. But none have been as convincing as a tall man with long hair played by Lee Jae Wook. Except he has amnesia and has no memories of his former life as a wealthy, pampered son. So this is set in Joseon. There is no DNA test, but the man looks like he could be Hong Rong. And the blood alchemy test, whatever that is, they put some blood in a thing and it does stuff, confirms he is Hong Rong. And as Leah said in DMs while watching this to me, what could go wrong? The blood alchemy test said he's Hong Rong. What could go wrong? But Jae Yi is not convinced at all that he is Hong Rong, though her evil stepmother is fully on board with the return of her handsome son. And for a few episodes, for a while, us as the viewers were as much in the dark as Jae Yi. So we're also like in it with Jae Yi as she's like looking through the clues, asking him questions, doing investigations to see if he's actually Hong Rong. So I guess what did you think at the beginning? Did you think he was Hong Rong at all, or did you think he was like an imposter from the beginning?
No, I mean, I knew this. I knew they were supposed to be like a love story aspect to this. So like never first. I'm like, you're not going to put two beautiful people in this situation and have them actually be Luke and Leia. Like absolutely not. So I wasn't worried about actual incest. But I was very, very much intrigued about who he actually was and why he was there. I mean, it's very convenient to have amnesia, so you don't have to explain like where you've been this whole time.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
I was rooting hard for Luke and Leia. I was like, give me Luke and Leia. I knew it wasn't coming. I knew it. I can't have nice things.
See,
So,
go ahead, keep going.
because I believed it was a romance, I knew there was no Luke and Leia. If you had given me a complicated story with a Luke and Leia, and then it was like, fuck, no, we can't do this, I would have been like, I can't tell you how much I would have enjoyed that drama of like, oh God, it is Hongrang. And the plot twist is, it is Hongrang. And then you're just like, fuck. I would have been on the edge of my seat, like, oh, yeah, what's going to happen? Like, it's never going to work out, but like, oh shit. Nope. I was like, the way this is going, there was never even like a moment where I was like, could it be Hongrang? I was just waiting for the inevitability of the reveals to begin.
Yeah, see, I actually thought he could possibly be. I was willing to entertain that he could be Hongrang, but that maybe the parentage was not what we thought. So that he could have been the former brother, but that he wasn't actually blood related to her.
But they never were blood related. She and Hongrang.
They have the same dad.
That's right. That's right.
I did wonder about that. I will say it's coming back to me a little bit because it's been a minute since I've watched this drama. It's been like, what, 8 weeks?
Yeah.
That I did have a moment of, I think, good plausibility of the evil mom not being fully faithful. And yeah. And so basically like a plot twist being like, then we have stepbrother and then we're just good as gravy on that.
Right. Stepbrother.
That's kind of what I thought. Because there was like this chemistry between them that was so interesting, I think, for the very first few episodes.
He just never felt Hongrang-y though.
I mean, he never felt like he'd been a little brother to anyone, like truly. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that was originally what I thought because I had no idea where this plot was going. Again, I didn't even know if we were actually going to get. I didn't even know that we were going to get any sort of love between them. Like, I didn't know the plot was going to take us there. Oh. Well, I'm like, maybe it'll fit. Like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe this will go like full plot crazy, and like it never goes anywhere.
This complete bafflement that there was a romance of any sort coming boggles my mind. From like jump, it was like there's going to be this person and they're going to smash like little Joseph Barbies.
I truly thought it was going to like I thought this drama was going to be so heavily focused on all the like machinations going on behind the scenes that I didn't know it was going to be so focused on them. I truly didn't. I mean, as I'm watching it, I'm realizing it's happening.
Did the penny drop that this was a relational drama for you?
I mean, probably. Well, are we going to get there in the next question? Yes. I'll tell you when. It's when she's like in her own tent and he's in his own tent and she's like undressing and he sees her scars.
That's how long it took you before
the shoulder kind of comes out. Well, no, this is what listen, I'm saying that I didn't think it was ever going to go to the point it did. I thought there would be some tension between these two characters, and then I just wasn't sure where it would go. I never thought there was going to be as much focus and a whole episode on them like living happily ever after for a full one episode. I never thought that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be very, I touched your dress with my hand, and that's it. I thought it was going to be, that's what I thought it was going to be. Truly. Okay. I thought it was going to be Kim Tae-ri and Yoo Yun-suk in Mr. Sunshine. That's what I thought it was going to be. Because I didn't see any spoilers. I didn't see a single thing. Okay, so for me, one of the surprises of Dear Hongrang was how much they focused, again, as I'm reading this as it's just reiterating, on the love stories. And notice I said love stories this time. Jae is the center of a love triangle where she is beginning to have complicated feelings for Hongrang, who may or may not be her long-lost stepbrother, but is now a full-grown adult who is hot and says things like, "You dare lay a finger upon my sister?" That did give me like heart palpitations. And then we have her sort of adopted brother, a boy her father took in after Hongrang disappeared and who she's always viewed as a brother. But Moojin, played by Jung Ga Ram, does not look at her as a sister. So yeah, just what did you think about this love triangle?
I thought it was a waste of space and time.
See, I totally thought you were gonna love this. I was like, Leah, it's like double incest
No.
love triangle.
Of course.
I wrote incest light times 2. That's what I wrote.
There's nothing.
But you don't like how they did it.
Yeah, because here we go. Here we have like potential brother and stepbrother, and you don't even give me like a little bit of like who could it be? It was just
That's
like,
true.
Oh,
It was very clear.
obviously not stepbrother. And the stepbrother starts out like pretty good, pretty heroic, and then we just kind of like spiral him down this path of like jealousy and mayhem and darkness just to have him like be like a noble end. It kind of felt, honestly, what it gave me without like the pathos was like Hot Cousin from Mr. Queen, but I was like much more compelled by
cousin.
Sad Cousin.
Yeah.
Hot
He was
Cousin.
hot. It's not a news.
He was hot too.
No, he was hot.
Yeah.
Sad Cousin. So Sad Cousin and Mr. Queen, he was like that adjacent, but I was like less compelled by him. Like Sad Cousin was at least like, I was like, every time Sad Cousin came out, I was like, damn, like, yes to Sad Cousin.
Yes.
My favorite part of Mr. Queen was Sad Cousin.
Same.
So in this, I wanted like if you had given me stepbrother as like Sad Cousin, where he had like some riz and some like, I actually like I wanted to. If you're gonna give me a love triangle in general, especially one that's not like a contemporary, where it's like a lighthearted rom-com where it's just not going to be that deep, but you're giving me a heavy drama. And you're going to go there with all these things. Go there with a love triangle and make me give a shit. Like, make me be like, oh my gosh, she is torn. Oh my gosh, maybe she was starting to catch feelings for stepbrother. Maybe shit was complicated. It just felt like you just threw in that part of it to just make it have a complication, but the relation and the emotion didn't match the complication. So I just never cared about it.
She was very oblivious, I would say. The character was very oblivious. I think that
Stupidly oblivious. And then it was like too late. And it just kind of made him become just like more of like a toady bad guy that he didn't deserve. That character didn't deserve that. So one of my critiques would have been if that had been a more interesting love triangle and there had been just like more complicated dynamics and more grappling with anything, even like maybe there was even like a slim. Yeah, I like there to be hard choices. I wanted hard choices. Yeah. And if it's like, do I choose between my brother and my stepbrother and I have feelings for both of them, I would have been like so happy. I would have been like, this is so messy. This is so forbidden. Then we have a love triangle on top, but a forbidden romance with like forbidden romance love triangle with incest light. Oh my God. And instead it was just like Temu version.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I thought it was fun to try and do the incest light times 2, like I do agree. Like Moojin was basically thrown in to be yet another obstacle for Hongrang. When he had enough working against him.
To a degree, sometimes I'm like, did we need Moojin? I mean, I feel bad. His character was, I mean, the guy who played him was fine.
It was a boring, they didn't give him enough. He was a plot moppet.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm not sure why they needed him, really.
Because you had to get through him to get to the final boss.
True.
He was like one of those, like, defeat him on the way to the final boss, which was the surprise final boss or whatever. But, like, I just felt like he was one of those. And don't even get me started on Snowman and how, like, that's the thing is I kept getting hyped for stuff. And then I'm like, you have let me down so much. And so what this drama did to me, and this is why I equate it to When the Phone Rings, is I was all in. Like, you gave me this premise, we're rolling in, like, by like episode 4 or 5, I was like, hell yeah. Like, I feel like this was genetically made in a lab. Like, I even say that like in an earlier podcast. Like, I feel like it was made for me. Then how I watched this drama was I got on a plane to go to Korea and I binge watched the last 6.5 episodes going over the Pacific. And so I was just like, bang, bang, bang. And as it went, I was just like, I feel like somebody's holding onto a sweater. And I just bought this like beautiful sweater. I love it so much. And somebody's just pulling it. And by the time I was like somewhere over the Kamchatka Peninsula, I was like, fuck this drama. respectfully
Megan.
fuck Megan.
Yeah, you
And
yelled
I
at
am
me.
pissed. And when
You
I
yelled at me
landed,
at
Megan was like,
landing.
haha, like you're mad. I'm like, no, I'm actually mad.
You were mad. You were mad. I was like, okay, enjoy BTS. Sorry. Sorry. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I like sat there in my mad and just like carried that with me the last like 3.5 hours of the flight. So when I landed, I literally did land. I didn't even tell like my family I was safe. I was like, Megan, what the fuck?
I love that I was the first. I love that your anger just superseded everything.
Yeah, my pettiness and rage just built.
That's so funny. Okay, so let's talk about the love story, not romance, between Jae and Hongrang. The chemistry and tension between them builds each episode. Jae has clear guilt and shame over her growing feelings for who she thinks is her younger brother. Like Jae is very at this point she is a rule follower. She's honorable. She has high morals. Wanting to bang her brother is not what she thinks is appropriate. Like in any world, Jae is not going to be like okay with that. And she's so conflicted that she agrees to like leave with Moojin. But when she's preparing to leave, it's more complicated than this, but I'm briefing it to make sense. But Jae finds that a small pouch, the one that Hongrang used to prove that he's actually her brother, is a copy. And Hongrang, now like fully in love with Jae, tells her the truth, which that he's not Hongrang. We'll talk more on his identity later. So yeah, what did you think of the reveal? Jae's response, which was Saranghae, but much better than Itaewon Class's Saranghae. And
which I disagree with. I love Itaewon Class.
I do too. I do. And like, I will argue that forever.
But anyway, so what did we think of Jae's response and their subsequent fleeing to the mountains to be lovers for a full episode of cuddle?
I mean, there's great tension. So like her, like, admitting that she loves him as soon as she finds out that he's not Hongrang is totally believable because like the tension is there. The tension has been there. And so I love like what you were just saying, that she's got good morals, loving her brother, is not on her wish list.
No.
So I love that idea of the release of like, as soon as you find out that you can love someone, like that's, it's like the end of like When Harry Met Sally for me. Like, as soon as you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. And it's a good thing that they did, because they didn't have a really big rest of life left.
They did not.
So,
well, one of them.
Right.
Well, together. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel bad because you're like our little people pleaser on the pod, and today I'm just coming for you.
We're coming for you, but it's okay. It's okay.
I guess for me, it was like I liked the complicated messiness of he has so much more information than she does about what's happening, about who he is, what's going on.
Right.
He's playing her like he's got the little bag with the tooth that he can like use as the reveal, as like the slam dunk. Like he's gotten so he's manipulating and playing her and falling in love with her. And I like that because it's murky and it's complicated and he's heroic, and these aren't what we would consider to be like morally good choices, right? Like manipulating someone, not being honest, having red herrings and gaslighting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like that's fully what he's doing the whole time to her. And yet you're rooting, if you're me, you're rooting for him because you're like, what murder? like the meme of, like the
what murder?
That's like my tagline with Megan now forever.
We said it during the Squid Game podcast a million times. We're like, who cares if he murdered someone?
Sometimes people deserve to die. Sometimes you're just put in difficult situations where you just can't be the greenest flag. Life has dealt you a hand where you're not going to be a green flag. And so for me, that becomes like complicated heroes are really fun for me. Gray characters are interesting. And so all of that, I think, works really well for me. But I did particularly enjoy just like the idea of like there is this imbalance where he has all of the information. She has none of the information. And in that case, I don't think it took away her agency. I think the show strips away her agency in many other ways, but not necessarily in that, because she was going off of vibes and chemistry, and I can get with that.
Yeah, I mean, the this is the thing is EJ Wook's character, I would have watched him do anything. I would have watched him have 5 million guild meetings. I truly would have.
mean, really?
I loved him.
I mean, I love him. Like, don't get me wrong.
He
Like, I love
is
him. He is one of my top actors, but I want more than guild meetings for him.
well, I'm saying this character. He didn't have a name. He didn't have a name. Are you fucking joking? I can't deal with how damaged he was, how like no one's ever loved him. Like zero. He's like never known a kind touch in his life. And then he's set on, we're going to get to like his backstory more a little bit later, which is kind of complicated. So I'm going to abbreviate it. So then he's meant to like completely scam this woman. Like he doesn't give a shit about her when he shows up. He has a mission which is going to probably ruin her life
He
because
doesn't
his
give a
mission
shit
is
about
to,
her for like 9 seconds.
well, true, he falls for her pretty quick.
He
But my
falls
point is,
very fast and very hard.
but he doesn't want to. Like you
No,
can
and he's
clear
still prepared to fuck her over for sure, which makes it good. That's the good part.
he's angry that he's having feelings for her. It upsets him. He doesn't understand what these feelings are. It's like all the makings of like just the classic like damaged hero that I like. And when he finally confesses to her, which let me be honest too, I loved that this was like a confession. This wasn't like I mean, she did find out, but he still had the chance to be like, I'm not Hongrang. Like, I'm telling you the truth right now. I love that because a lot of dramas, it's like they find out, but then the truth comes out without the like person who's lying telling them. You know, I love that he was the one who's deceiving her and he was able to say to her face, like, I'm not Hongrang. So I love that she was able to respond back. And I was absolutely like the next episode, I think it was episode 9, where they run away together. I I watched it twice. Like I was obsessed with this episode. And maybe I've been into tragic love lately. Like, let me say that too. There's been something about tragic love lately that has really been like, which is crazy, but it has been like getting me. And so I do think I remember Leah and I were talking when we talked about Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo, and we're like, this has the makings of a tragic story. Like both of us are like, this isn't ending happily. Like it does. There's an HEA, we'll say now, in Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo. I will say, like, obviously, Dear Hongrang was giving me like major, like, tragic energy. And so I think, and the fact that we got so much of that upfront, usually when they give you in a drama, in a book, in a show, they give you that much happiness. You know that that's supposed to last you a lifetime because they're not getting it. At least that's how I look at it. So as soon as like that happened, I just sort of was like, I'm going to soak in the fact that like Hongrang is being loved. He is getting love. Jae Yi loves him. He loves her. They have this time together because it's not going to last. Like, I know it's not. I know that this is meant to carry me, the viewer, and them in their heads forever because they're not getting it. And so that was why I was so impacted by the love story of this drama. And that's why I think it got me so much, is because that single episode, I mean, he's like crying in the cave. He still won't let her see his back, which we'll get to. He's still holding so much shame of who he is.
Name ever?
Because he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name.
But like,
so he still never.
Does he even like get a new name? Like,
no. And I think that's also when I was like, well, shit, this isn't going good. But he's still carrying so much shame, so much pain. He's still keeping things from her because I think he's also in denial. Like he's like, I've never been happy one day in my life, so I'm gonna take this time to like be happy and have crying cave sex, which killed me. And then they like, oh my god, they're like playing in the stream together and like washing their clothes and splashing each other. And I was like, this is going to end
badly.
terribly.
And
I was like,
for me is I watched all this with a completely different lens of look at them trying to psych us.
clearly, Leah, clearly we did.
No, and this is where I blame you, is that I was watching it being like, here's the montage of doom, like of coming doom.
Right.
That's not coming because Megan's told me it's a romance, that they're psyching us up for like this all to go really badly.
Right.
But they're not going to get me because I'm watching this with no stress, 0 stress. Like this is all like when it comes to the relation, like I don't know what's going to happen with like Hongrang's mission and what's coming. And I know bad stuff is coming. But when it came to the relationship, I was like, me worried? Nah, it's all good.
I can't remember. Maybe I just can't remember. I think after it ended, I was in like a weird place. And I think I just was like, yeah, I messed up.
I didn't
and
want
I didn't
to spoil you. And I was like, I want to consent to knowing, like, I always want to know if I'm watching, I want to know the genre I'm watching because I will set my expectation.
I don't know what I said.
The plot to me should not be, guess what? You're watching a different genre at the end. Like, that's not what I want.
I truly believe that when I talked up the drama, I still wasn't sure. I mean, I thought,
but at that point, then
I should have told you when it was over
and been like, just so you know, this is the genre that you're watching, because I think that for me, that was probably, and look, the reason I'm like nagging on this drama is for lots of reasons. That was just like a crushing like defeat in the end. If I was like on top of every fucking thing else, like at least I was like, at least there's this. And then I was like,
I get it.
No,
I get it.
not that either, because I was so convinced that like all the signs were there that this was going to end badly. But I was like, sometimes that happens. Sometimes we get a lot of signs that things are going to go real badly.
My dearest.
Yeah. And then.
Well, my dearest did go badly.
Well, until it didn't.
Until it didn't, which was honestly at that point I didn't give a shit anymore.
My dearest should have gone badly.
My dearest did go badly for me, but that's beside the point.
I feel like my dearest.
I understand.
This had the ending. I wish we had flipped it. And my dearest had this sort of an ending, and Dear Hongrang had a my dearest ending. I would have expected that.
Yeah, I think
an amnesiac Hongrang who all his trauma's gone because he's lost his memory and he gets a new lease on life and he's just raising chickens. Yes.
Yeah. Oh God. And also the fact that the whole time they basically call him the Reaper. He's like top level swordsman. Yeah. What in this world of Dear Hongrang, in the Dear Hongrang world, he's like top swordsman, which is always going to be like, yes.
I enjoyed that all the time. There was no part of the swordplay. In fact, are we going to talk about the violence at some point?
I didn't. We go ahead and we can talk about it now.
Don't even want violence.
See, this is why this was hard for me too with Amy, because I was like, the violence feels a little like Alchemy of Souls, where they can like run on swords.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. Like I will say, like the violence is very overt. Okay. The very first episode, somebody gets a hand or digits cut up, like chopped off.
The very was this the one with the horse when did the horse get killed? That was a different drama. What was the drama that had the horse?
Moon Lovers.
What are you talking about? Opening of Moon Lovers, lady.
Excuse me, Hongrang would not.
Hongrang would never slit a horse's throat.
Hongrang would never do that, my dear baby Hongrang. Unlike
absolutely slit a horse's throat without even blinking.
No,
just for show.
No, he wouldn't.
No,
he would not.
No,
not for show.
No,
what? He would do it if he would slit a horse's throat if it was going to trample Jaggy, and that's about it. That's about it.
So I think this is where, again, we need to be really clear on our comfortability with violence when we talk to viewers, because people should know where do they align with people in order to watch a drama. Like, so for me, this ranked for me on a 0 out of 10 in terms of violence, discomfort.
But you never have violence discomfort.
I do. And I'm going to share where. Okay. What I do not like is, I wouldn't say it's violence discomfort. Okay. I don't think I have violence discomfort. I do have child death discomfort.
Oh God,
But it's
yes.
very nuanced as to when it hits. So like Dear Tangerines is like, I'm pretty much a no at this point and wanting to see that because I know that there's a child death in it. That is something that like doesn't, I'm going to be very hard pressed to want to watch that. In this
Same.
drama, we do have horrific child abuse that I think we'll talk about, but we do have a child's death that like wasn't as impactful for me because it was kind of like the plot mop-it at the end.
But a child's death is a plot device. It's not necessarily visually violent, right? So if we're talking about
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
visual
say. So when it comes
violence,
to
right?
visual violence, I'm like the only time I can think of the only violent scene that has ever really gotten me is from Saving Private Ryan, and it's a really slow stabbing scene where one character is stabbing another and it takes a really long time and it's really intimate and it's really personal. And I feel like it's like much more of a head game of like what it would be like to actually like stab someone in that kind of a way because like it's not a quick and fast process. So that got me. But watching stuff like this, which is like expert sword play, bing bang boo, like hands flying, bodies flying, whatever, like I could do that. I could do that all day and not even blink.
And I wish that I could. Like
No,
I,
it's not a judgment. I just think
no,
like
no, no.
it's
I'm saying
not.
like I would be able to watch a lot more. Like my son watches Squid Game and I don't. And I'm like I hate that I don't share that with him. He's like I'd rewatch it with you. I could tell you when all the bad stuff happens, which I think is super
Aw.
sweet. And I'm like
The
if we
entire
were,
time.
I'm like I know I'm like if we rewatched it, buddy, you'd be watching it in Korean because he watches it dubbed right now. But like it's always been something that I can't do. Like I can't stomach it. I can't watch it. I can tell myself a million times that it's expert makeup and, you know, and CGI and whatever, and it does not help. Um and I can't do it. And so even though I was warned, like I will say this, like if you align with me as far as like violence, this drama's not for you. Like it wasn't for me. I watched it because you know, because of EJ Oak and because Megan liked it so much, and I wanted to be part of it for the pod. But it
Yours
wasn't
did
it.
warn you, definitely.
Yes, and viewers warned me to the extent where I actually read spoilers before I
Yeah,
watched so that
you
I could
told me.
prepare myself. But then I didn't really watch. Right, I'm like watching it through my hands because I can't stomach it. Because it's graphic. Like it is. It's not, you know, I mean like like for me, it's graphic. Yeah, Squid Game, it's graphic. Like I can't do it. Red light, green light. I did like I watched the first episode of Squid Game. I made it through red light, green light, but like that's about it.
Right. No, but I mean, I think it's actually kind of good that we have varying levels of what we can handle on the pod because I think that helps like different viewers that we have because I do know we have viewers who also like just cannot deal with violence and that's totally fine. There's plenty of stuff out there for people who don't like violence. I would say I search out action sometimes and violent stuff. So yeah, if you're going to give me sword fights, I love it. This is probably my favorite type of action. Um this it was sword fights to me. I don't like necessarily like punching. Like that's I will fast forward through brawls. Like I watch
I was
Bloodhounds
just gonna
and as
say you
much
watch Bloodhounds.
yeah, but I'll fast forward through just the fist fight brawls. I will fast forward.
There's you.
Um well, yeah, cuz it
There's you or it's
feels
boring.
no, well, it's a little boring to be honest because I'm just like unless like it just depends like but if it's just two dudes like slugging it out for like 3 minutes, I will fast forward mostly because I'm just like, I want to get to like, yeah, I want to get to like the point of a fight. Like, tell me the point, like who wins. Like, and also to be honest, all those fights are the same. Okay. The good guy is losing until something happens. He overpowers the bad guy. You move on. Like, it's always like, I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah.
always,
So
always the
you're
same.
fast forwarding because more you're bored than like you're being really bothered by like
I'm not necessarily bothered, but it does make me wince a little. It's the fist fighting, I think, that is what gets me the most. And I hate torture. So I'm on like Gyeongsang Creature had a lot of torture in it. I also fast forwarded through torture scenes. I
How did you
hate
watch like
torture.
Strangers from Hell so much?
Um, okay, so when you give me something like Strangers from Hell that feels so otherworldly in a way, like Strangers from Hell, it was real, but it was also not. So sometimes if you give me a show that doesn't feel like real life totally, I can like the violence feels on a different plane to me. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
to
mean, because I
explain.
guess I should say that, but yeah, and here's the other thing is that as I think about it, like there is violence that bothers me because I don't tend to watch I don't watch slasher horror. And so I guess I'm
Right.
not seeking out violence as enjoyment or fun or like looking at the darkness. Cause I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, I don't think people that, like watch horror, watch it because they love violence, but like they're able to kind of like, there's something that the horror genre kind of like gives you to scratch an itch of like looking into the darkness and kind of like coming out the other end or something. You know, there's reasons
Mhm.
people like it. Horror is not a real big genre for me to enjoy watching, mostly because I'm just scared. It's the tension and like the murdery like bad guys that like do it for me. Like I don't love
Yeah.
that, but just watching kind of this type of violence through like Game of Thrones violence, which I'd say is more like extreme mainstream violence. That
Yeah.
I definitely, if I say that I like, if I'm saying that I'm not bothered by it, take it with a grain of salt if you have any bothering by it.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say too, it's torture when it's the main, like, it's the character you made me love. So if you're going to torture the main character, Park Seo-joon and Gyeong-sun Creature, or Bloodhounds where they're beating the shit out of Udo Wan, I'm fast forwarding. I'm gonna fast forward, because I don't like to watch my like beloved
See,
character.
I can watch that fine.
Yeah, get like and it's not that I'm necessarily bothered by it. It's just like, well, I don't have to, so I'm gonna fast forward.
Right.
Whereas sword fighting is a whole different thing to me. I really like it. I like watching fight choreography. I think it's really freaking cool. So if you're gonna like there was a fight, we'll talk about the snowman in a little bit, but there was a fight between the Hongrang and the snowman, and it was absolutely captivating to me to watch. I loved it. It was so cool. There were like inventive ways that they use the sword. Like the way he finally kills the snowman is so freaking cool. I love it. It's why I like Gladiator. I'm always gonna love kind of like
We both really like Gladiator.
I
you
love
both really like
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
So that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
I love Gladiator. Okay, but here's the thing. So here's like my caveat. I don't not like I don't stay away from all violence. For me, it is much easier for me to watch stuff like that with somebody else.
Gladiator, everyone,
Yes.
you're gonna watch it with your son. He's
Yes.
gonna
And
be
I
like, "Oh,
can't
mom."
I mean like my kids and I like we love zombie stuff. Like I love zombie stuff. I love Jordan Peele movies. Like but I don't watch those by myself. Like my daughter's favorite movie is Get Out. You know, so like and
Oh,
she watches horror by herself. Like she's also like film major girl, so she's like I got to watch everything. Um but like I love stuff like that. Like when it's not gratuitous, like when it's there for a reason, I'm okay with it. But I also can do much better when there's somebody else to say, you can look now, like, you know, this person's done being impaled, you can open your eyes, you know, that kind of thing. Because there's often a very good story that goes with the violence. So yes, I love Gladiator.
right. I mean, especially in a movie, there's usually like the fight scenes have a purpose, unless you're watching, I don't know, The Beekeeper with Jason Statham, which yes, I did watch with my
Candyman
husband.
was like my Waterloo when I was younger.
Okay, so yeah, so I and also again, I'm not a violent person. Let's be real. I don't think like criminals should be stabbed, but if someone is really evil in a drama, it feels really good to watch them get their comeuppance. It feels good to see them uh get stabbed. It feels good to see them get their hands cut off. So, which we are getting into.
Does
So,
it
yeah,
also kind of feel good in real life though when baddies get their comeuppance?
I mean, yes, I'm just saying I don't like condone like cutting people's hands off in real life. That's what I'm trying to say. Like we're not like, what murder? Okay. So, Hongrang is not in fact Hongrang. As we already said, he doesn't even have a name. And in the most traumatic of backstories, which again is why like this drama just hit me in that spot. We learn he was born as a slave to a noble family and used as a talisman for their son, which is a horrifying thing that I didn't know, just didn't even know was a thing, for which he endured constant abuse. He managed to escape, but was taken prisoner by the painter, who kidnaps boys, subjects them to horrible chemicals to bleach their skin, and then tattoos art on their backs. He did this to Hongrang, and he's still doing it, whatever, 20, however old Hongrang is now, 10, 15 years later. So the reason Hongrang pretends to be Hongrang is because Jae's merchant father deals in art, and Hongrang plans to infiltrate the guild with help from his band of former abused boys to find the painter and stop him from being a total tattooing psychopath. So who's the painter? He is played to perfection by Kim Jae-uk. If you've seen Death's Game, you know that Kim Jae-uk can play an excellent villain. And the painter was truly the villain of all villains. I mean, in honesty, this was, oh God, how good. I mean, Kim Jae-uk was just so, he was so good. So his reason for abducting children is to tattoo art on their backs, but his favorites are 7 boys with very important art, kind of like the 7 deadly sins that he thinks make them living talismans, and sacrificing them in like this like over the top ceremony that of course we do see, he believes will turn him into some sort of god, and of course Hongrang is one of these talismans. So was this a plot line you ever saw coming? And thoughts on the painter and his minion Snowman?
I feel like I need to go watch Her Private Life as like a cleanser
No,
and remind
no,
myself that he is
he's my
Ryan Gold.
favorite.
That he is
Oh,
Ryan
he's
Gold.
so good. Yeah, you're right. He is right. But he is so good in Death's Game. I cannot even tell you. So to see him like return, I was in
He's
utter
creepy
delight.
in the very first episode. Not to the
So
extent
creepy.
where I thought he was going to be the villain of all villains, but
Right.
he plays creepy well. Like,
And they give you a red herring.
yeah,
They make you think this other guy is the painter, and he's not.
no, it was a good. I mean, it was a good twist. It was definitely a good twist.
I mean, it's a hard one to
It's
say.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one to say because, like, of course it's horrible. And I feel like I sound like just like I am like I feel like I have a moral compass, friends. And so when I'm like, I would like to have had more incest or whatever, like that's take it with a grain of salt. Like there's hyperbole at work.
Show.
It's a show, and I'm also like, even within the context of the show, having some hyperbole. When it came to this, I thought this plot line overall worked well in that it went to really dark and challenging places in a way that I felt like it needed to justify the extreme trauma responses we were seeing from Hongrang's character. Like this was going to have to be real bad. And I think that it was really bad. And it was difficult to watch and it was difficult to unpack. And I honestly wish there had been a little more of it, not for the gratuitous sake of it, but I feel like that there was a lot of, for me, this drama suffered from a lack of like character unpacking along the way. So like when it came to the stepbrother's character, yes, I know that you could say that like he was a character that like had a shadow side to him, and like all people have their good sides and dark sides, and what elements they come up against kind of like shows their true self. But when we come to like the prince, who's kind of the painter, it was a little cartoonish in just how bad he was, and I would have liked to have seen it rounded out just a little bit more, like a little more context of like, okay, you want to turn into a living god because clearly we have, many, look at baddies in our times, right? Like I think somebody in our Patreon even spoke to the fact that like a lot of this drama kind of can comment on what happened, like how this drama aligns particularly to the moment of time we're in. So I don't have their like exact words pulled up, but I'm kind of paraphrasing how they stated it. And it was, you have these like ultimate baddies who are like ruling with like doing terrible things, ego driven, and kind of allowed and enabled to have it happen. The people suffering are often the most vulnerable people, aka children. And then we have like people in the middle. Some of them are complacent and enabling, and then like few of them are trying to fight back. And I think that all works interesting, except when we come to a time where we're living actively in our real life with villains that are so villainous that you're kind of just like, you are a caricature of yourself. Like you're such a baddie, it almost doesn't feel believable, like kind of just what a baddie you are. But you know, and we have numerous nations, including ours, ruled by them at the moment. It does, I feel like one of the things I keep grappling with is like, yeah, where does that begin? How does it start? And it's not that you have to give me like a sympathetic backstory by any means, but I think I want a little bit more of like the villain as a whole person and not just the baddie. And the snowman to me was also a gigantic letdown. The fight, the final battle with the snowman was great. The visuals of the snowman's essentially like the child abductor throughout the drama. He's a terrifying person. Like the first time you see him, I was like, oh
Right.
shit, what is.
I thought this was going to be a supernatural drama when I
Yeah.
first saw him.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Yes, because
Yeah.
he's so otherworldly. He's spooky, he's super tall, really blonde hair, really pale, just moves in ways that don't feel human. And having that become a human is fun and interesting. But again, you're like, well, what made you like could we have had a little like we get the point of the guild and why the guild existed and why Hongrang had to like infiltrate to like become part of that. I could have done with like 50% less of like the guild interworkings. You know, the guild needed to be there. But I was interested in like the characters of this as opposed to like the machinations of that world.
Oh, there's like this whole storyline with like the fake paintings. I gave zero shits. I didn't even understand it. I was like, I don't know what's going on with these like dupes and who's got the real ones and how they're making dupes. And I didn't, I cared so little about that.
Yes, I
I
would have done less
still am not.
and more. Give me some snowman backstory.
Yeah, no, I will again. I love the drama, but it's not perfect. It's not like it's not a top 10 drama for me. I liked it a lot though. And but this to me the snowman was one of the biggest fumbles. Because that could have been really fucking cool. I also wanted to know way more about him, how he got to where he was, who was he, all of that.
And
Um
he's just a minion.
and he's kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
he could have been, and like something, he's got bleached skin. Okay, so the painter did something to
Right.
him. So I will say for a drama this short, I was okay with the painter being who he was. I agree with you. If we had more time, hell yeah, like let's get into the painter
And
and
I didn't
find
want to
out
get
why
into it.
he was.
I guess I didn't even want to get into it a lot. I guess I just wanted a little bit more of a sense of like the motivations. Because if you want to become a living god, other than like you just think you're like real special, like, okay.
Yeah, I sort of just looked at him as like a Jim Jones character. I feel like he was kind of like he was like a Joseon era cult leader. Um, thought he was a deity. And so I this was hands down the most unique dark plot, I
Yeah,
will
I
say,
guess. And
that I've
so
ever seen.
overall, yes, that I do give it its flowers for it was a unique dark plot that went there in this aspect. Like didn't go there in like all the characterization, but went there in some like in this reveal. Like, yeah, we didn't get to where like I have trauma because when it rains, my parents once died in the rain, and therefore when I see rain, I can no longer cope. This was
Stop.
like I had no name, was a proxy punishment boy, you know, like a
Uh-huh.
whipping boy. Cause like in
Uh-huh.
Western culture, or like, you know, like I think in like, you know, old fashioned, tiny, like British or stuff, yeah, you had like whipping boys. So like somebody that was selected to like receive the punishment on behalf of someone else. That's unfortunately seems a little more universal, like that phenomenon. And then on top of that, we take young children, subject them to horrible things, turn them into living art, and conduct rituals on them. Like, I do want to give some kudos to this drama for like, you're not getting that every day.
Yeah, and that's another reason this drama went so high. And I loved it as much as I did because I was just like, you are giving me something I haven't seen. I've never seen this. I don't someone's fucked up mind came up with this cuz it's crazy. It's so far from what I ever thought someone could think of. And so for me too, I was like I'm getting something new. I felt like I was getting something brand new with archetypes that I love, which is EJ Hook's character. And I also agree with you too. I almost thought EJ Wook was way more normal than he should have been, to be honest. I mean, he was beyond messed up, but I was like, how are you not more messed up?
Yeah, like I could have handled seeing a little bit more of like the relational aspect. Like again, I didn't need to have heavy backstory, but I think that's another point of like, how do you have any relational skills whatsoever
if you've never been shown love?
I mean, he did suck at it. I mean, for a while, and I also think
pretty good at it though.
and he was, but I also, I mean, the why I thought it was interesting because it did feel like there was a major Nuna dynamic. Like I do think like he loved her and he was attracted to her. They were in a romantic relationship, but I also think he was like mommy.
Oh,
Like
for
I do
sure.
think, you know,
100%
and
mommy
so
issues, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah, and
kind of
so
like she, you know, like when you have the archetype of like, you know, the virgin mother or, you know, like those kind of things. Like, yes. And so he's getting to have all that in one basket.
yeah, and it was like it just everything about it was uh it just killed me. And honestly, like I'm thinking about it now. See, this is the thing. Like I thought maybe when we reviewed it, I would like it less. I'm sorry, guys. I'm liking it even more.
I'm glad you did. Like
Yeah,
when you said it was
I did.
something brand new that you had never seen before, in my head I'm like, I would have been okay not having seen it.
Right, right. You were like, I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
am.
for
I
your
am. I'm
experience.
happy for
Yeah,
you.
you were. You were
This is
like, good
not
for you,
like,
Megan.
you know, this might have been, you know, genetically lab created for Leah, except for how it ended. It was not created in
It's
a
not
lab
even
for
the
me.
ending for me. I can accept the ending for me. I think where it falls short for me is that what I wanted in it ultimately that I think would have taken it from me being like a 5 out of a 10 in enjoyment to like a 10 out of 10 would have been the stuff that I'm like pointing out along the way of this wasn't a quiet drama, yet I think it would have benefited because there's times where it's higher action and higher stakes, and then there's times it's not. And so when it came down to like the relationships and the character choices and the character development and the characters like stepping into their heroism or stepping into their villainy, I just wanted to see that all justified more and be like more interesting and surprising. So I think the external conflict was ultimately okay for me. The internal conflicts felt a little bit more. I mean, like, yes, Hongrang's like a sad, damaged guy. And I don't really have a lot of notes on his character, but I think like for some of the others, I think that there was a lot of missing opportunities for me.
And I do think I did read some things that a lot was obviously cut. I do think this to the detriment. I do think this could have been longer. I think there could have been some things that were fleshed out maybe a little bit better. Although in the end, I loved
I
how
think it should
short
have
it
been
was.
this length. I think it was a good
Yeah,
length. I just think that there were times, again, I'm just standing by the same thing I've said before. If you'd given me 50% less of the guild plot, kept the guild framework, had that
yeah,
be like
because you
existing,
need it, right?
but those were the parts that didn't matter to me as much as you've got this like interesting world, these damaged characters all trying to figure stuff out. Like I just wanted more of them figuring their stuff out. And I also had one big, like, I don't know what drugs I was on, but I had one thing that I thought was happening. Like, do you ever have a drama where you're watching and all of a sudden you're like, I thought something was happening this whole time and it was not happening even one time.
I think you told me that. What
So
was it?
I thought that like the assassin leader because he the other like we haven't touched on like when we talk about mommy issues he had a mommy kind of like the
Right. I know. I
assassin
didn't even get into that
like
because it's like a whole
and
thing.
again like so there was like that element of like that was so anyway we have like the
Yeah.
leader of the assassin group kind of is
Hmm.
this woman and she had a relationship with the heroine's father like they'd been lovers.
Jay's dad.
Yep.
Hmm.
I thought that was Joboa, like the heroine's actual mother, because her mother had like died and was like gone. I thought that was like a fake out, and it was going to turn out that like, and that's where I was like, oh, we are still going to get this like quasi incest light because the
No,
person
I had a little inkling of that in the
he
beginning.
considers his mother is actually truly her mother.
Amy messaged me this exact same thing.
Okay.
I remember.
I
Amy
wasn't as
messaged
crazy
me.
for
Yeah.
making this up. Okay.
She was like, "Don't tell me," but I think her name was like Cottonham, I think, and she was like, "Don't tell me, but I think that's Joe Boa's mom. And I was done at that point. And I was like, okay.
That makes me feel so much better
Yeah.
because I thought they were really selling that as a premise.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
both you guys.
oh, no.
Because you have mysterious parentage for right, like you know that she's hated by the queen. You know that he had this affair, that that she was. Yeah, so I absolutely thought that in the beginning.
And then I was like, well, then what was the point of them even having the affair? If like, I feel like it's like when we talk about like Chekhov's gun, like if you're going to give me that kind of thing,
there wasn't, right? There wasn't
something else. And in this case, like, so there was that kind of like threw me too, where I was like, I felt like, because I am, yeah, when you give me a plot device that's like, okay, there's this happening and you had this old timey affair and it's what this, I was like, okay, I guess the dad just like was like totally just boning whoevs and like good for him. Right. But like I was like, then do we care? Like, why even have that? Like, who cares?
Okay, so Hongrang manages to escape the ceremony where he's, where the painter's trying to be a living god. He kills the snowman in honestly really cool ass way, and then finally puts an end to the painter's reign in an act of revenge that might be personally the best I've ever seen, as the painter tries to explain why he did what he did. Because that's the thing, the painter is still completely delusional. Like Hongrang, I think wanted a why, and there like wasn't a why. That made sense. And yeah, Hongrang slices off both of the painter's hands at the wrists and says, "Try painting with them now." And it was one of my favorite lines. I mean, I'm serious. It's in my head. As soon as it happened, I screamed out loud. So yeah, did you guys like it? Did that revenge do it for you?
Yeah,
like it did for me.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it's good.
It
It's good poetic justice. I didn't enjoy watching it, but it was good poetic justice.
Right. I understand.
That was a good arc completing for me of like, that was a good narrative choice. And it also was a good choice not to have him be dead, but to lose the thing that mattered most to him in the world, which was his ability to do his like funky bullshit.
Torture art.
Yeah. Torture.
I mean, he does die, but he dies knowing his hands are cut off, and that's terrible. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't come in and just like stab him, right? He like does this, and like that's a very like okay.
It's beautiful, and it's like the way he slices up just this clean. Oh my god,
I think he should have been
much.
left. Honestly, I think that would have been better. That's my only quibble is maybe leave. Although then who knows? I mean, it's also
then what do you do with him?
Yeah, just let him. But I'd like to have him like I would have liked to have had like more. We just recently watched the second of like all the Star Wars movies, the ones with like Anakin becoming Darth, or no, I guess the third one.
That's the third.
Yeah, where he becomes Darth Vader, and he gets his legs cut off, and then he like is catching fire, and oh wait, you haven't watched Star Wars?
Oh yeah, you don't know how he becomes Darth Vader.
I will tell you right now. Listen. Let me say on the record right now that I have been very interested recently in starting Star Wars. There. Okay, well, I'm very happy.
Look, you can tell me though. It's okay. Becomes Darth Vader is the point of the third movie, and in it, it's not.
I mean, they're fighting over lava, basically.
Yeah. It does not go well for him. Spoiler alert: he becomes Darth Vader.
Right. It doesn't go well.
That's why he can't exist without that suit.
Yeah. So Darth Vader, that suit is like a suit that keeps him alive. That's why the breathing is like, it's like,
it's like Bane.
Yes.
It's like Bane.
Yes.
Yeah. He's fucked up. So I would like to have had more of that where he just kind of like becomes more and more diminished. Let's lose more parts. Like, let's have it become where in the end you're just kind of like, like laying there.
We could like castrate him and make him ride a horse.
We only do that. God damn. That's a call up to Frozen Flower. But
Frozen Flower. Which we do have a pod on. So if you want to hear about that, go listen.
Yeah. So I would have done, so again, this is a thing where I would have done more. The hand more suffering start, I would have done more. Yeah. I would have taken them apart bit by bit and taken it. Like I wanted more of that too.
Like when Wesley talks about how he's going to dispatch of Humperdinck to the pain.
Where the very last thing you hear is like, women, oh God, what
screaming when they see you
in your perfect ears. Yes. I wanted that. I wanted a to the pain from the Princess Bride ending. So the hands were a good start. I would have liked to have just had it be like slicing and dicing.
Just start cutting off things. Great.
Slowly.
Okay. So after that, this is a K-drama, and Hongrang can't get any peace. So because of what the painter subjected him to, essentially like bleached him, there were like other chemicals too. I don't remember whatever Joseon chemicals they could have given. Hongrang is dying, so we do see glimpses of that even during like the episode where they just have like total peace. Like his vision is bad, he has awful headaches. His body is breaking down. So just when we think the painter is dead, that he and Jae can live happily ever after, his body is done. And he dies in Jae's arms. I said that very not like poetically, but in it to me it was a poetic ending, which I could talk about. So I mean, we did touch on the ending. It's a tragic ending. Hongrang dies. It's terrible. It's awful. I sobbed really hard. So yeah, what did you guys think?
Well, but then it doesn't even end there, right? Because then we find out.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. But I just mean, what did you think of like this, the end of Hongrang? I guess I should say. What did you think about the end of Hongrang?
Sucked.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't the end because, like I said,
like he's gonna come back.
This
He'll
is
wake
where
up.
I actually have the petty
He'll wake
quibble.
up.
So if I had watched it just like raw dogging it and hadn't been told it was a romance and then hadn't been like I would have been like, yep, this is a bummer. I'm sad. I think I did kind of miss out on like the feeling of emotions for that because I was like,
right.
Okay, well, he's not dead. So I'm just chilling, like waiting for that to happen. To the point that it then ends, she sees him on the roof. And then I'm like, okay. Like they're really, really making it feel like he's dead, though. And then I was like, when are we getting to like the little house with the chickens? When are we getting the My Dearest ending?
Right.
It ended. And at this point, I literally fast forwarded through the credits being like,
You thought there'd be a post-credit scene?
Like, that seems outlandish, but there's no way Megan wouldn't have told me that
I know. I will tell you, I messed up. And I might have said that the ending was. See, I know I didn't tell you there's no AJ.
You said
I definitely did not tell you.
You said it's not what I want. That's when we talked about endings, like not what I want.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And I guess I thought that was enough. And it's not. And I know that. I'm not saying.
It's not
I'm
your
just
fault.
saying.
I think it's just that since we had talked about it in the context of it being a romance, and then I was on the trip and I was just checked out, kind of like, okay, just finish it off. I was like, okay, like, yeah, we're doing this like it was a choice to make it seem like he died, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like they also, if I'm going to just give the spoiler for My Dearest because Amy, you're not going to watch it if you haven't seen.
I already know it. I already know it though.
But I mean, I'm just saying if you haven't and you're watching, just like skip ahead like a minute and I'm going to wait a second. They make it seem like at the end of My Dearest, he dies conclusively to where I was like, oh, fuck, like he's dead.
And they had already done that, just FYI.
Yeah.
Like 3 times.
Yeah. But at this point, I was like, he's now like finally dead. Like he's really dead.
All the way.
He's actually dead. All the way dead.
And then wasn't dead at all. And so I was watching it like, man, they really made it feel like he's dead. But he's not dead because he's not. Like it's gonna be, and I was like, okay, I just thought of My Dearest and was like, okay, we're gonna have this thing, and like he's not gonna be dead. And I did even have a moment of like, oh, maybe he will have amnesia, and that could be really healing. And like that's how you get kind of a quasi happy ending, is that like he's messed up but has amnesia, so like some of this trauma is just kind of like lifted.
Ooh, that would be a good alternate ending.
And so I was kind of thinking we were going that route, until I realized that we weren't. And that's where the expectation meets reality. I will say, overall, I think that this drama ended up not being a fave to me is because, like I really do equate it to my experience of watching When the Phone Rings, where I started out being like, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, I love it so much. This is so good. I can't get enough. Like everything I love is happening. And then as we kind of like go into like the back half, I'm just like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I do. I do remember now because we had just been talking, and I do remember saying, "Yeah, this is the ending. We don't not the ending we
wanted, but it's the ending you needed."
Yeah, but Leah was like preparing for Korea. I don't even think she read that.
Yeah,
so
I don't think
I never made it clear. it is my fault. I'm not sure if I made it clear. I think you already were checked out a little bit.
You brought that up in our endings episode. That's when it came up.
Oh, when we were talking about it's not
Yes.
the ending. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not blaming you fully
Fair.
for it. Do I think it's the ending? That's a question that was posed on the Patreon. Do we think it was the correct ending for the drama?
Yes. I don't know if I want to say correct ending. I think there could be alternate endings
That
for this.
we needed. Was it the ending the drama needed?
So this is the thing, is that Hongrang was so damaged, so emotionally, physically. I'm just not sure. As much as he loved Jae-yi, I just don't know like what kind of life he was going to lead. It's just, I didn't see him in a house of chickens. I mean, I think he could have done it, and I think he could do it for that short amount of time that he was with Jae-yi in the mountains. But I just don't know if that, like, mentally he was going to be able to sustain that for the rest of his life. And so he was going to have to die. Uh, and also, like, I don't know if he was ever going to live at peace. Like, I think there would have always been people after him. His biggest thing that he had talked about in multiple points of the drama is that he didn't like to be alone, because that was one of the things that terrified him, especially when he'd been abducted, is that he was blindfolded and he was alone as a kid, alone and in pain and scared. And he says that is his biggest fear. It's not dying, it's being alone. And so when he finds Jae-yi, and he can't even see her at this point, like his eyesight's gone, and she grabs him. I feel like I'm going to get choked up because that's how much I like this scene. And she's holding him, and that's what she's talking about. She's like, I'm here with you. And she knows it's happening. She's crying too, but she knows that he doesn't want to be alone. Um, and he's not. And I guess, so for me, the point was, I was like, this is a hard life. This is Joseon era. He could die in a number of ways. And so the fact that I got to see his final moments being held by Jae-yi gave me a finality for his character that I needed. Because now I knew how it was going to end for him. And it was never going to end with him alone. It was always going to end with him dying in Jae-yi's arms. And that's why I like the ending.
It kind of reminds me of Gu Sung-joon in Crash Landing on You in Sedan. Because not that his life was nearly as bad as Hongrang's, but this idea of his biggest fear was that he was going to die with nobody loving him.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
He got to die.
Yeah.
He got to die. Spoiler, really. But he got to die knowing he was loved. And so that's why there was something about also his ending that I felt like I could be okay with. And so that's why I was okay with the ending. Because I just was like, now I know he wasn't alone. And I'm never going to kind of have that like feeling like, what if something happens later and he has to die?
Can I share what I wish had happened? If he had to die, which I can accept his death. I'll accept his death. I would have liked the finale to have been her, and this is a very rare time I'm going to say this. I can't think of any other drama where this is what I would have wanted. I would have liked to have seen at the end a flash forward of whatever with her, and she has a kid. And here's why. Because I think that we saw so much trauma with children, the whole drama. She lost her beloved brother and spent the entire drama looking for this child that she had loved and cared for. Then found some level of adult love, lost her beloved stepbrother who fell in love with her and also eats it. And so in the end, good for Hongrang for dying in the arms of the woman he loved. Good for the stepbrother, having a change of heart at the last minute and not being horrible. But she's she's got the guilt.
True.
And
I think, that's part of the problem, I think, that I also I did have a problem with how they treated Jae-yi's character throughout the whole second half of the drama. She had really great agency at the beginning, and then they just kind of made her a little not smart, which she is. So they made her not smart. They kind of took away her agency, and she was sort of just there to do things for Hongrang.
And be a damsel in distress,
and be a damsel in distress.
Or to be the pinnacle of womanhood.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. That is, I would say, that's my biggest criticism of the drama, even more so than the thing we're going to talk about
But I
next.
think having her at the end with a child would have given me a sense of like, okay, also like Hongrang's life, like not that having a child means that your life means something or not. Like I'm not trying to say that as like an overall theme for humanity, but for his character, I think that it would have been like a positive ending and continuation is that, but and also for her to just feel like, you know, that just because she was devoted to the idea of this like little child the whole drama, to then have a child at the end would have given me like comfort for that character, that she had that and like that's okay.
And it would also be, I was gonna say, it would also be like a reversal too, right? Like we get to see a child have a happy ending because what we're
No
about to
other
talk
child.
about is like there's no child that has a good end.
Yeah.
And
Very true.
yeah,
That's very
So
true.
that would have been to me like the mirroring of like the beginning with like the missing child and what happens because you see little Hongrang at the beginning. And that was the other thing that they kind of like red herring too, is like you see like, you know, because they kind of do make it look pretty clearly like he was kidnapped.
yes.
Now, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because this is one part of the drama I hated. So I pretend that this part didn't exist because I think it's really stupid. Sorry. I'm going to say it's stupid. We need to mention the real demise of the real Hongrang. So he actually died right there in his home from a fall. It happened like he never went missing. He never went
Although
missing.
he did see the snowman.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't like he like ran out at night, I guess. But he never like was he never went missing. He literally died in his house. And a maid along with like a shaman who hated Hongrang's mother. I mean, I'm not getting into that. They dropped him in a well and just left him there.
The family well that they all drank out of for the next like generational cycle.
It's crazy. And then they're just like, "Oh, we found the body," and J.E.'s like crying over his bones, and I was like, "Are we really seriously?"
To add insult to injury, that's what I'm saying. Like
I hated it.
she
I
gets the
hated that.
shittiest end.
She does. I hated this. I hated it so much. So I like again, I pretend it
was
didn't
so
exist.
like I got a big ick over like you guys just drank Hongrang
That's
for, like,
gross.
a long time, and then she's like empty the well, so they're like emptying it out, and then at the end like there's like the little like bones at the bottom, and it was just like ew man, like nobody was getting sick, like that's not good, like that's cholera waiting to happen.
I mean, it's like not turning on the hot pot and
And eating raw pork belly.
eating raw meat.
It was a little bit anticlimactic that that's how he went out.
You don't say. Yeah. I mean, it was
He died of hitting his head.
I feel like it was like a last minute scramble. Like, oh shit, we need to figure out something for the actual Hongrang.
that's what it felt like. It felt like they were like, "Oh wait, we got this kid who died and we never told you how he died. Well, let's just have him make a fall and then throw him down the well." And I was like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? He was there the whole time and the maid didn't say anything? Are you kidding me?
I kind of was like, whatever. That just was like the lead. Like it did not feel like clever story writing. It didn't feel egregious to me. It felt kind of whatever-ish, except for like just being like nobody tasted anything. Like really? Like then I started like I got really taken out. Like how much decomposition does it take till you do taste it?
I mean, it was lazy, like I think, to write it that way. I mean, I don't know. I hate calling writers lazy because I can be lazy when I write too. But
Yeah, I mean, I could have seen me doing it, so I'm not going to say like because sometimes we're like, well, what do you think like else you could have done? And again, like when you're on a time crunch and you're like, look, they were weaving together quite a few plot threads. They should have liberated themselves again from the guild threads and focused on the characters. But
oh my god.
I mean, I'm not as mad about Real Hongrang because like it had to have been something. It was like he definitely was dead. So then how do you have him die? Really? Like was he kidnapped and in the torture dungeon? Like that's no good. At least in this case I was like, look, the kid went out with like the lights just got turned out. Like he fell down and was gone. Like he didn't know he went down a well. Like he was already dead. So I was kind of like, I guess, like in some ways, Hongrang had it like for all the kids in this drama, like real Hongrang had it like kind of the best.
True. True. He had the most noble death. I mean,
No, I would just say, like,
the least
not
traumatic,
noble,
least traumatic death.
least traumatic.
One minute he's romping around, the next minute, like, he's off in the Elysian fields with, like, his dog or something. But, like,
Oh, yeah.
But for the heroine's character, what it was, let's just have everything suck. Let's have everything suck more. Let's have it suck even super more. And then at the end, we're going to pretend like you are happy with at least the memory that, like, one time for 1 second, something wasn't shitty for you. And, like, I guess good job.
That you were loved for, like, I don't know, 2
A
days, however
minute
long
and,
they were in
like,
the.
make a telescope and, like, good for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, having having a baby at the end would have, like, felt to me like
I like that.
you have a place to, like, put that. And so that's the ending. If they had had that, I think that I would have been like, okay, at least it felt like it ended on a note. Because then they tried to end it on, like, not extreme trauma pain. But I was like, honestly, it's just super sad. And maybe that was, like, the point of it too, but I didn't even feel like that, like, kind of, like, happiness of memory. I was just like, oh God.
Yeah, I agree.
But it
I
didn't
agree.
hit me in my set. So I think for me, like, Mr. Sunshine still being a top drama for me, and we know that's, a love story and things don't end well for folks. So I don't need everything to be happy. It was just that in this, it felt kind of like,
Yeah, but Mr. Sunshine, the heroine had agency, and she had a hopeful end.
and the characters all kind of, I felt like their ends all had
They were noble.
points and justification.
Yeah.
The stepbrother rankles me. The stepbrother, it was truly, I think for me, my kid in a well in this drama was the stepbrother.
My kid in the
My
well.
kid in the well
Fair.
situation was a stepbrother because I didn't see there being a need to, like, that felt lazy. That actually felt like much more lazy. Like, dead real hung around again. I was like, okay. I mean, like, we needed him dead somewhere. This is gonna fix it.
Stepbrother didn't bother me, and I think it's because I was just never into that. I was never like, it was never like a focus, and I never like had any hope
We
for that.
spent so
Meaning,
much time with him. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna make me have to
yeah,
spend this much time with a character, I'm too ADHD. Like, you've got to give me some reason to give a shit about him. If he's just kind of like fakely nobly good and then he's just like covetously greedy bad and then he's dead, I'm like, that was just a whole waste of my time.
yeah, understand.
Give me more of the creepy painter then.
God, he's so creepy. I mean, look, Ryan Gould's great and all, but I'm sorry, my favorite Kim Jae-wook is being a villain. He's so good at it. He's so good at. I still think about his character in Death's Game all the time. Death's Game was a fantastic drama, and he was so good.
I would like to
And
see
no,
Kim Jae-wook
Amy,
in, like, a Flower of Evil type of drama.
Oh yeah.
yeah, 100%, he would kill
He
it.
could have he
He's
could have said Oma so well.
Oma, but also have been like the lead in something. Like, I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's a great
He's
actor. Like,
versatile. He's
he's
very versatile.
and he is, even as Ryan Gold, as, like, green flag as Ryan Gold is, still brings a little creepy. He's got an edge. He has an edge to him. And, like, the edge, like, we saw that even from, like, the Coffee Prince days with, like, his,
It's a I feel like it's a mystery. There's something a little bit like unknowable about him.
yeah, he's enigmatic to a degree.
Yes.
And, like, we know he, like, also played Hedwig on stage, which checks
God,
out. Like, he'd make an
I would love to see that.
So, yeah, I think as an actor, I'm always interested in what they have to do. And yeah, I do think there's, like, a little edge or, like, the enigma factor that you're saying of just something that is compelling.
It was so good. It was just so good. I liked him as a villain, because he just I think he knows how to play one. He was so great.
But EJ 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for just, like, that hero alone by himself. Like, I've been kind of critical about the rest of the drama. That's a hero that I could eat like a cob of corn.
Yeah, he is so good. So no, okay, I do not like him as much as Healer, and I'm not a robot, but very close. I'm talking, if we're talking about damaged heroes, he's 3. Maybe even more than Moon Supreme. Moon Supreme's
I
up there
think he's
too,
better
but
than Moon Supreme because
he's
he at least is a little bit like Moon Supreme. Oh, well, I don't know.
I know this is
I was
hard.
thinking Moon Lovers. No. Okay, never mind.
No.
I love a good. I just
No,
love a
he
good
doesn't pass
damaged
me for
hero.
great he's 4 for me, probably.
Like a damaged hero who's never had love. I'm sorry. Like just always gonna get me. Like every single time. That's what I
Put
want.
him
Everything.
in afterworld buddy drama with Gudong Mei.
Oh my god. Give them they can frolic together.
Or play together.
They would have such a good romance
Should I do
together.
like a
Gudong Mei.
male afterlife enemies to lovers?
Let's write the
With
fanfic.
Hongrang and Gudong Mei.
AO3, here I come. I'm writing it. God, that would be delicious.
Yeah, somebody write that for me and send it to me because I want to read it.
Yeah, me too. Oh. Okay, so any final thoughts on I feel like we exhausted.
Yeah,
I'm
exhausted talking about it as much as I was watching it. It is, I mean, that is, I think that's something like, and that's, I think, a nuance of the drama is that the tension is done so well that it really is draining to watch it.
I do agree with that. Like it's constant tension, it's tiring, but it felt like obviously like my heart's pounding. Like
Right. It's in a
ratcheting
good
up every time.
way.
But
Like it's done very well.
Yeah. But no, yeah.
I feel like it a lot like I did with in Game of Thrones when they had like the zombie, like the Night
White
Walker
Walkers.
and the White Walker subplot, and I was just like hyping, and then in the end I was kind of like, okay, I feel like Dear Hongrang was my White Walkers drama. And just like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, look at the very end, I'm still gonna eat Jon Snow like a
right?
have a corn. Like it's not it's not his fault.
Yeah, it's not EJ. It's same. It's not Hongrang's fault.
No,
he did everything.
The writer,
he was
when they
like
made a compelling case to have him, good call, grovel, get him. If it hadn't been him, who?
And I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. I honestly can't think of someone who would play this the way I needed it to be played for me to be as invested in this character.
Because I liked him in Extraordinary You. I liked him in Alchemy of Souls. Alchemy of Souls just was not I don't even know why. Like, I know you both like Alchemy of Souls better than me, and I like Alchemy of Souls. Like, I don't have anything like negative to say about Alchemy of Souls. I've just liked other dramas more, and I liked him in Alchemy of Souls. Hongrang is where I loved him.
Yeah, I feel like by the end I got you coming around just a tiny bit.
No, I like it because I don't hate this drama. I just for me, I feel like it exactly as I've said, as When the Phone Rings, which is it makes me it makes me more frustrated because it had so many things I liked going for it.
Right.
That I'm like, why didn't you just make me love it?
We talked about that a little bit with Squid Game. I don't know when this pod is going to be released in relation to Squid Game, so I don't know. Either way,
Squid Game too. I wanted to I came in being like, I'm ready to love it, and then I was like, I don't love it, and I'm annoyed.
But we were vocally angry about it because there were so many things that we liked and that did well, and we had high expectations for it. So I almost feel like you're angrier when you wanted it to go right or when you felt like it could. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like so I do think that probably was and that's probably why the well part made me pissed.
And I feel like that for My Dearest too.
Oh God, yeah. I want to listen to our My Dearest podcast again sometime.
I think
because we really went in. We went in on that. We did. Well, this is another 2-hour podcast because we can't shut up. So thank you for listening to us talk about Dear Hongrang. And thank you to Amy and Leah for watching it. I will be 100% clear in the future. Okay?
And you know what? Personal responsibility. It's my responsibility. I just think it's funny because I'm not lying about my reaction. Like that was not hyperbole.
We're mad.
Like there's like the
You're mad.
Bert, like a gif where he like puts down the book and looks up and is just like this. That was me
you were mad.
This like somewhere over like between like Alaska and Japan, like putting down this.
I can't imagine watching through the end of the credits still hoping.
I was just so confused.
End differently.
I was like, I don't get it. Like, where's the what?
Yeah.
I was just like, and then I was like,
I mean, I will tell you, spoiler for Mr. Plankton in 3, 2, 1. that's what I did with Mr. Plankton. I was like, no. I kept forwarding through the entire trailer, and then it was over. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not over. There's got to be. I just still like love it, and
All
that's
of a
like a
sudden,
top
he's
5 drama for me. But
like,
I definitely, it's like it's hard when you are like, no, this isn't how it ends, and there's nothing else coming, and it's
it
like
was just
so
how
hard.
relaxed I was, like seeing it being like, okay, like they're doing all
Right.
the typical like trauma stuff. That's why in
Yeah.
watching Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo, I was so relieved you'd watched it and told me that it ended happily, because like
Right.
we said, watching it, I was like, he's gonna die, they're gonna die. And then I was like, but I know they're
Yeah.
not, because it ends happily. So in this, I'm like, oh, they're making it seem like it's all gonna go so bad, and it's not.
It's like the other way. Yeah, Let Free the Curse Taekwondo. I didn't know if it ended well or not, so that was a very
I
stressful
still
watch
need
for
to
me.
watch that. I really
I
want to.
always know I
It's
do not want spoilers, and the only person who can spoil me is Megan and Amy.
But you want genre. You want genre.
I
we
want
want genre.
genre. I don't want to be
I
told
get
on
it.
like nuance. I just want to be told love story or romance, and the only people I want doing that. So this is not an open invitation because I'm gonna just say not everyone gets spoilers.
Not everyone can say genre without spoiling.
Yes, and I've just had a lot of times where I've been like, please give me nothing. Please don't spoil me. Please
Oh, and people still
say
do.
nothing.
Oh my God.
And then it'll be like, okay, definitely no spoilers. Just have your tissues ready. And I'm like, spoiler.
Or like, let me know after this scene happens. I'm like, what? Why'd you just tell me this? People, when we say no spoilers, it means
After
literally don't say a single word about it.
in episode 6. So the whole time you're just like, okay, what?
Don't say a word about it. Just go, okay, have fun watching,
And
or
if
just
your
whatever.
quibble is that we've spoiled shit for you, because we have.
We are a podcast about
You come
K-drama,
into
so
our-
that's
you
what we
come into
do.
our
That's what we
Yeah,
do.
you're in our house. You're in our house. You chose. Don't come in our house and give us spoilers. Okay, we got it. We got to go. This is ridiculous. Okay, I can't believe how long this is. Well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Amy and Leah for watching it. And until next time, Anya.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoon of Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoon of Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!